Today we're cutting through the noise to talk about something that actually matters to Pakistan's future security, the Federal Constabulary Ordinance 2025. Let's break it down honestly, clearly, and as always in support of Pakistan's sovereignty and its institutions. With this ordinance, Pakistan is finally moving towards a balanced, tiered security model like any other modern democracy. Let's discuss the opposition and the actual reality. Let's name the opposition. PTI Zulfi Bukhari claims it's a tool to target political rivals. According to Umar Ayub, the leader of the opposition, he says it violates the 18th Amendment. HRCP, PILDAT, and others say the ordinance was passed without debate. But what's really happening? It's a structure to protect the citizens with professionally managed federal force, not improvised deployments. And for those invoking the 18th Amendment, let's be very clear. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is your very own Fariha Farrukh and you're watching 360 Digital English. Today we're cutting through the noise to talk about something that actually matters to Pakistan's future security, the Federal Constabulary Ordinance 2025. It has been criticized by some political quarters, but what is this ordinance actually about? What reforms does it bring and why is it so important for Pakistan's internal stability? Let's break it down honestly, clearly, and as always in support of Pakistan's sovereignty and its institutions. What was the Frontier Constabulary? Let's find out. Let's begin with the basics. Frontier Constabulary was a force under the Ministry of Interior commanded by police officers on deputation. Troops were raised from all over the country. It was a federal force but largely deployed in KP and unfortunately used inefficiently due to outdated command structures and lack of proper equipment or training. Well, it did what it could, but its potential was never truly harnessed. So the reforms were overdue and they have finally begun. What was the ordinance changes? Now, what does the Federal Constabulary Ordinance actually do? By revamping of the force to Federal Constabulary, the force will remain under MOI, but many of its structural issues have been addressed. It will not be commanded by the police officers. This is a game changer. Now the force will develop its own identity, leadership, and chain of command, not just act as an extension of provincial police systems. At the level of MOI, it would afford a response capped to MOI between police, provincial force, and CAF, commanded by army officers, mostly deployed on borders, and the army MOIB. So it becomes a middle-tier response force, giving the Interior Ministry flexibility before reaching for paramilitary or army support. That's a civil control, enhanced capability, and smarter law enforcement strategy. Talking about the strategic importance now. This prevents dependence of MOI on other forces, thus enabling civil control. This is not about militarizing the state. It's about professionalizing our response mechanisms, giving Interior Ministry its own credible force for handling internal threats, protests, urban unrest, or even counter-terror operations. To contextualize, had this force been available, rangers would not be required to undertake law and order or protection duties on various occasions in the past. Think of the strain that could have been avoided on the rangers, on the army, on public trust. With this ordinance, Pakistan is finally moving towards a balanced, tiered security model like any other modern democracy. Let's discuss the opposition and the actual reality. Those opposing the move are doing so without truly understanding force structure and employment concepts. That's the truth. Let's name the opposition. PTI Zulfi Bukhari claims it's a tool to target political rivals. According to Umar Ayub, the leader of the opposition, he says it violates the 18th Amendment. HRCP, PILDAT, and others say the ordinance was passed without debate. But what's really happening? These voices are not opposing the structure, they are opposing the timing. Because protests are coming, because they fear a crackdown, because they expect accountability. Well, what they miss is this is not a law to target citizens. It's a structure to protect the citizens with professionally managed federal force, not improvised deployments. And for those invoking the 18th Amendment, let's be very clear. The Constitution provides for federal control where national security is at stake. This is not about rolling back provincial rights. It's about filling a vacuum no province has been able to manage alone. In the defense of the ordinance, let's just discuss a few points. Pakistan is a country facing complex internal and external threats, from terrorism to political unrest, from organized crime to violent mobs. We need specialized tools. The Federal Constabulary is exactly that, a force trained and equipped for internal response under the civil command, not military, replacing ad hoc deployments with institutional capacity. It also lets the Pakistan Army stay focused on its core mission, defending our borders and deterring enemies. That's what balance looks like. That's what professional statecraft looks like. And that's how a mature democracy strengthens itself. So to conclude, this ordinance is not just a policy shift, it's a national security evolution. It strengthens civilian controls, supports military professionalism, and builds internal resilience. Critics may shout, but Pakistan moves forward with strength, with vision, and with unity. As patriots, as Pakistanis, we stand with the Pak Army, the state, and the people of Pakistan. Pakistan Zindabad. Do not forget to leave your feedback and subscribe to the channel 360 Digital English. Take care. Allah Hafiz.